This conference will now be recorded.
Today let us go with very important topic, JDBC. So any project we take, we make use of this JDBC in our applications. What is this JDBC is? JDBC stands for Java Database Connectivity. JDBC stands for what? Java Database Connectivity. Means from Java program, we can connect to a database. I can say like JDBC is an API which is used to connect to a database, from a Java program. When you write a Java program, we make use of JDBC API, means it's a library. By using this JDBC API, we can connect to the database. How to connect to database using JDBC? We have to follow some steps. If we just understand the steps, that completes our major part of JDBC. Now, let us see the steps here. Steps in JDBC. The JDBC API is present in a package java.sql package. So we need to import it. Import java.sql package. The second step is whichever the database we are connecting, respective to the database, we need to load the driver class. If you connect to MySQL, we have to load the driver class of MySQL. If you want to connect to Oracle, we need to load the driver class of Oracle, like that. So the second step is load the driver class. Load the driver class. How to load the driver classes? We have to use a class. Class is a class, C capital here, belongs to java.lang package, which contains a method for name. And the argument what we pass to this for name method is com.mysql.cj.jdbc.driver. So whichever the database you are connecting, respective to the database, we need to pass the argument over here. And in this driver is a doc class file presenting com.mysql.cj.jdbc package. So in this one, this com.mysql.cj.jdbc, it's a package, smaller case letters. Driver is a doc class file, so D capital here. Once we load the driver class, the third step is we need to establish the connection. In order to establish the connection, we need to make use of an interface. Connection interface belongs to java.sql package con equal to driver manager. It's a class of SQL package with a static method get connection. And the argument what we need to pass over here is JDBC colon MySQL, means from JDBC we are going to MySQL database colon / localhost colon 3306. I mentioned yesterday the port number where MySQL server is running is 3306 colon 3306 / Java 16. It is the database name what we have created yesterday. Username is root, password is root. With these two steps, load the driver class and establish the connection. With these two steps, we get the connection to MySQL database. In this one, localhost. Why we are writing localhost? Because we have installed MySQL database server in our local machine. If the database server is present in other machine, then we have to provide the IP address or host name, means computer name of MySQL server, the location of MySQL server. 3306, this is the port number where MySQL server is running. Java 16, this is the database name what we have created. Root is the username, root, password. With these two steps, we get the connection to MySQL database. If you want to connect to other database like Oracle, only this argument will differ. If you browse in Google, if you just say JDBC to my Oracle or JDBC to MySQL, JDBC to DB2, complete code will be given to us. Just we have to change the arguments. We have to just change the arguments here. Then, the remaining steps are common for any database. The next step is create a statement. In order to create the statement, we make use of two interfaces here. We are having two interfaces. One is statement interface and one more is prepared statement. When we go with the statement, we have to use the method create statement. Then when we go with the prepared statement, we have to use the method prepare statement. Like example, when we say statement, we'll say st1 equal to con dot create statement. We have to call which method? Create statement. If we go with the prepared statement, we'll say st2 equal to con dot prepare statement. We'll call which method? Prepare statement method. And here only we can pass the SQL command within double quotes. You can pass the SQL command which you want to execute within double quotes. So here in the case of statement, we did not pass any SQL command which you want to execute, but in the case of prepared statement, we have given the SQL command which we want to execute. And what is con here? The connection object. I'll be elaborating more on this. The next step is execute the statement. Execute the statement. In order to execute the statement, we are having three methods: execute, execute update, and execute query. The difference between these three methods is execute method return type is boolean, execute update is integer, and execute query result set. It's an object of result set. Result set is an interface here. In execute method, generally we execute the commands like create, alter, drop, like this, the DDL commands. In execute update, we go with insert, update, delete, the DML commands. Execute query, select, DQL command. Like example, we'll say here st1 dot execute query, select star from books. If you go with the prepared statement st2, we simply say execute query. Now see the difference between statement and prepared statement. In the case of statement, we did not pass any SQL command while creating statement. We are passing SQL command while executing the statement. Whereas in the case of prepared statement, we passed the SQL command while creating statement only. While executing, we did not pass it. Now, a small question here. When we want to execute same SQL command, multiple times in our program, then which is suggested, statement or prepared statement? Anyone respond? Right. So we go for prepared statement because only one time you type the command here while executing, you need not pass the command again and again. So when we want to execute same SQL command multiple times in the program, it is suggested to use prepared statement. And one more advantage of prepared statement is it is dynamic in nature. Means during runtime also we can pass values to SQL command. So how to do that? I'll elaborate more when we come to the example program on prepared statement. One more very important intro question, like by using execute method, can we execute update command? The answer is yes. By using any methods here, we can execute any SQL command. But the thing is like when we use execute method to execute update command, the records will get updated. No problem in that. The records will get updated. But if you want to know how many records got updated, that is not possible because it is returning as Boolean. That's the reason this is suggestion like create, table created, not created, alter not, drop not, yes, no. So Boolean data type. Insert, how many records inserted, how many records updated, how many records deleted, how many, integer. Select, we get the list of records managed with the result set. So this list is only suggestion, not the rule here. So what is the point to remember? We can use any method to execute any SQL command. But to manage the written type, we need to use the specific method. The remaining step, simple, close the statement, like st1.close, the cleanup operations, st2.close. Next one, close the connection, on.close. So these are the 7 steps you can find in any JDBC program. Got it, everyone? Any questions? Now, let us understand these steps using an example program. Initially, let us go with the statement. Next, we'll go with prepared statement. Let us go with the program JDBC statement demo. Open Eclipse. Right click on project and say new class JDBC statement demo with main method. Now, so in this one, the first step we have to import SQL package. In this JDBC, when you take second step, class.forName method throws class not found exception, and most of the methods in JDBC throws SQL exception. So keep the code in try and catch block. Keep the code in try and catch block. What is our second step? Load the driver class. How to load driver class? Class.forName. The argument what we have to pass to connect to MySQL, com.mysql.cj.jdbc.driver. Next step, establish connection. Connection con equal to driver manager dot get connection jdbc colon mysql colon / localhost colon 3306 / java 16 our database name, username is root, password is root. So with these 2 steps, we get the connection to MySQL database. Yeah. Swati, any question? Right. So with these 2 steps, we get the connection to MySQL database. Compulsory, we have to remember that. So some people will ask whether to remember this code means yes, compulsory. Minimum 1 database, you should know how to connect. If these 2 statements executes properly, will display the message connected. In closing operation con.close. Now, let us run this program. Let us run this code. So we are getting one exception, class not found exception. It is unable to identify this class. com.mysql.cj.jdbc.driver. It's unable to identify this class because this class belongs to this package, does not belong to SQL package. Because this is vendor specific. Who is vendor here? MySQL. So MySQL is vendor. So this class we have to take it from MySQL. So how to take this class? How to take this class is to make our application work, we need to do some settings here. So for that, we need to download one file here. Download mysql-connector-java 8.0.30.jar download. We have to download this jar file. For this, just go to Google and say MySQL connector Java download. So as we are having MySQL 8 version installed, we can go with any 8 version jar file. So just to type like this, MySQL connector Java download. Open search engine like Google. Compulsory have to practice this and search here for MySQL connector Java download. You can use any link to download. In my case, I'm just going with this MySQL connector, this Maven repository. I'm making use of Maven repository. Any link you can use to download, and you can go with the version here, whichever the 8 version you want to use, you can use. So I'm just going with 8.0.30, and here you can find jar to download. So here you can see jar C here. Okay, click on this file, click on this jar link, which is going to download the jar file for us. Now, once the jar file is downloaded, just to copy this file, what we have to do, once we download this jar file, copy this file and keep it in a place where we can locate easily. So I'm just keeping in our folder, Java Online 16, Java Programs folder, I'm pasting. It can be anywhere on your system. Okay, it can be anywhere. Right? So the objective is we need to download this jar file onto your local machine. After downloading this jar file onto your local machine, we need to add this jar file into the project. So how to add that jar file into the project is, right click on project and say build path, configure build path. Right click on project, build path, configure build path. Select the tab libraries, select class path, click here, add external jars. We have to see here, add external jars. So where we copied jar file, C drive 2022, Java Online 16, our batch, Java programs. Just to go to the folder where we have downloaded the jar file, where we copied the jar file. Select that and say open. Click apply and close. That's it. Now see, run the program now. We are getting connected. And you can even see here, referenced libraries. We have added third-party jars now. Jars only libraries. See, we have added this jar file. If you expand, you can see the package C, com.mysql.cj.jdbc. In this package, you can see driver class. Okay. So what is the step here? Let me document. Only one-time process, not for every program, only one-time process for your project. So remember, very important, in order to connect to MySQL database, we need to set the class path or build path to this jar file into the project as follows. Right click on my project and say build path, configure build path, click the tab libraries, select the class path, click add external jars, click add external jars, select the jar file from the folder, any folder you wish, from your folder where you have copied, click open, click apply and close. That's it. This is only one-time process for your project. Okay. What is this jar first of all? What is this jar is? We call it as Java archive, which is a collection of doc class files, in compressed format. Collection of what? Doc class files in compressed format. So when you want to give doc class files to some other people as a single file, we make it as jar, like zip files. We create zip files now, compressed files similar to that. jar also. Then how to create jar file is, for example, I want to share this complete doc class files of my project. Means how to create jar files how to create a jar file to share the doc class files of my project is, just right click on my project, export, right click on my project, export, Java, select jar file, next, then location where you want to create jar file. Let me create on desktop. I'll say myjar.jar. Extension what we give for jar file is .jar. Save it. Then say finish. Then say on your desktop you can see a jar file got created here. And if you extract it, it is similar to zip file only. If you extract it, right click and say extract to a folder. Then the folder will be created myjar, and in that see you can see all the doc class files of your project. Okay, simple words to say, jar is what? It's a collection of doc class files in compressed format. Like we create zip files, rar files, no? Similar to that only. Clear everyone? Any questions up to here? So here we got the connection now. Now let us go with the statement. Like the next step is what? Statement. Statement is t equal to con dot create statement. Now execute statement. st dot execute. So from this Java program, we want to create a table. How to create table? The SQL command should go in double quotes like this. Create table employee with employee number int of 3, employee name varchar of 10, then salary float of 4. Double. The SQL command should go within double quotes. Now once the statement is executed, go with the message table created. Then close the statement, close the connection. That's it. So to execute SQL commands from our Java program, we use JDBC. That's the main objective here. Now run the code. So we are getting message say table created. And if you open your database, MySQL, just search, type MySQL command line client. Type the password. In our case, it is root. In our case, it is root. Then say use Java 16, our database name. Now use the command describe employee. So we have created the table employee now. Describe employee. See, the table has created with 3 columns. Now if I use the command select star from employee, and say it will say empty set because we did not insert any records into the table. Now let us insert the records. If I come back to the program and run the program again, we get exception because table employee already exists. So once the table is created, we cannot create the table again. So we don't want to create the table again. So keep the code in comments. Now let us go with insert operation. st dot execute update, insert into employee values 111 goes to employee number, the name and salary. The name and salary. So in this one, this 111 will go and store into envo. The name Raj will go and store into ename. Since it's of type varchar, we have to keep the value in single quotes. 8000 will go and store into salary. Like that, let us insert some more records. Insert some more records. Now, let us go with the message inserted. Run the program, we get the message inserted. And if you check your table, now when we use select command, see the records has been inserted here. Now let us go with update. So I'm keeping this code in comments. I don't want to insert again. So keep it the code in comments. And we'll say int n equal to st.execute update employee set salary equal to 6,000. So if you are not using where condition, all the records will get updated with the salary 6,000. So depends on the number of records got updated, that value will come and store into n. In our example 3. So if you print here n records updated. Now see the message when we run, we get 3 records updated because we're having 3 records in the table. So it's going to affect all the records here. So when you want to manage the return type, so based on the command, when you want to manage the return type, we have to use the specific methods. Check your table. See for all records, the salary has now updated to 6,000. Now let us delete the records. Int n equal to st.execute update delete from employee. If you are not using where condition, all the records will be deleted. So in our example, 3 records. In our example, the message will be 3 records deleted. Check it here. 3 records deleted. And if you check your table, there are no records in the table. Now let us insert the records again. Keep this code in comments. Let us uncomment this. Let us insert the records again. See when we run, we'll get message inserted. And if you check your table, you can see 3 records. Now let us go with select command. Let us go with select, very important. We have to select this. Result set rs equal to st.execute query select star from employee. So when you say select star from employee, it's going to pick up the records from employee table and that are connected to result set object. Traverse it. How to traverse? While rs.next. Well, rs.next, then print the record. So whenever we say next, a record will be picked up from the table, and if it is able to pick up the record, returns true. Unable to pick up, returns false. Means this loop will repeat for 3 times in our example. Depends on number of records. Then print one by one record like this. rs.getInt of employee number. Why getInt? Because employee number is of type integer. And space between the values. rs.getString of employee name, because varchar, so get string, then rs dot get float of 3. So what is 3 here? Column number, which is salary. So either you can pass column names or you can even pass column numbers also, and column number starts with 1, 2, 3. Right? When we run, we get the list of records onto your console. Clear everyone? Any questions? How to do all these operations? We call this one as CRUD operations. Remember, we call it as what? CRUD operations. What do you mean by CRUD operations? C means create. Create means insert command. Creating a record, so insert command. R means read, means select command. U means update, update command. D means delete, delete command. So every programmer should know how to do these CRUD operations using JDBC. Compulsory. Minimum they should know this. Right? Now, let us suppose if you get an exception in the statement, if you get an exception, then will the closing operations will happen? No. Because once you get exception, the control will jump to catch block and comes down. But the concept is, even exception occurs or does not occur, we want to do the closing operations. Then keep this closing operations in finally block. finally block, keep the closing operations. See, we are getting error because we have declared this connection object and statement object in try block. Then we can use these two objects only in try block. If I want to make it use outside, then just declare this outside of the class, means in main method. Declare these two variables in main method. Then since already we have declared, so we can use in the complete main method. So no need to declare it once again here. No need to declare once again. Still we are getting error because close method throws SQL exception. So you can add the throws declaration. So it is, we have to just add throws SQL exception. That's it. Okay. So using finally block to do the closing operations, it is a suggested code. Clear everyone? Any questions? Now let us move to the next one. Prepared statement interface. What is the main use of prepared statement I mentioned? If the same SQL command is executed multiple times in the program, then it is suggested to use prepared statement. And one more major use is prepared statement is dynamic. Means during runtime we can pass values to the SQL command. During runtime also we can pass values to the SQL command. Let us see how to do this using a program. JDBC prepared statement demo. Right click on project and say new class JDBC prepared statement demo. In this program, we want to accept the employee details like employee number, name and salary from user during runtime. So whenever you want to accept some data during runtime, we make use of scanner class present in util package. Even import SQL package. Create object of scanner. Create object of scanner, connect to keyboard. Accept the data. Enter employee number int ano equal to s dot next. Enter employee name string a name equal to s dot next. Enter employee salary float salary equal to s dot next float. So we have accepted the input from user. Now connect to database. How to do? Go with the try and catch block. With what? Try and catch block. Now, what is our step to connect to database? Load the driver class first. Class dot for name com dot mysql dot cj dot jdbc dot driver. Establish the connection. Connection con equal to driver manager dot get connection. Driver manager dot get connection. So what is argument we have to pass here? JDBC colon MySQL colon / localhost colon 3306 / Java 16. Our database name, username is root, password is root. That's it. So with this we get connection to MySQL database. Compulsory we have to remember this. So in future also I'm going to do this step so many times, you'll automatically remember. Then now go with prepared statement. Prepared statement equal to con dot prepare statement. So here insert into employee values. Since we don't know the values, we'll go with question marks here. We'll go with question marks. Now, before we run this insert command, we have to set the value to the respective question marks like this. st dot setting 1 comma envo means first question mark. First question mark will be replaced with envo variable value. And why set int? Because employee number is of what type? Integer type. Then st dot set a string 2 comma ename. Second question mark should go with what value? Ename value. Why set string? Because of type varchar. st dot set float 3 comma salary. Third question mark with salary. Now call the method st dot execute update. Then the command will get executed with these 3 values, the data what we have accepted during runtime. Then go with the message inserted st dot close con dot close. That's it. Run the code. It is asking, see, employee number 444, employee name, employee salary. So we are getting the message inserted. And if you check your table, so you can see a new record got inserted into the table, but we have accepted this data during runtime. Right? We are having one more syntax to do the same process. One more syntax. Repeat statement. st equal to con dot prepare statement. Insert into employee values. So instead of question marks, we can even replace Java variables here like this. This syntax is important. So how to replace Java variable in SQL command is double quote plus the variable name plus double quote. That's it. How to replace a Java variable in SQL command? Double quote plus the variable name plus double quote. Then say comma, single quote, double quote plus the variable name plus double quote, single quote. Why single quote? Varchar. Then say comma, double quote plus salary plus double quote. That's it. Now call the method st.execute update. Go with the message inserted. Run the code. It'll ask employee number, employee name, and employee salary. We are getting message inserted, and if you check your table, you can see one more record got inserted into the table here. Clear everyone? Any questions? So very important one, JDBC. In future, once we start with advanced part, almost every day we are going to make use of JDBC coding that. So I'm giving totally 1 week time to you. So by next week, ensure that your system is installed with MySQL database and ensure that your JDBC programs are working. From JDBC program, we are able to connect to MySQL database. Ensure that any issues, please let me know so that we can sort out on your machine. So after 1 week only, we are going to make use of JDBC code in our programs again. Right? So with this, we complete core Java. Then next Monday, next week, where we are going to enter into the next part of our course, web technologies, where I'm going to start off with HTML.